Ever heard of Munchausen Syndrome by proxy? I'm a survivor. By this wandering mind. My illness was a long con, beginning around age 10. Mom took me to countless doctors, over-exaggerating symptoms that they couldn't even see, until she finally found one who gave her exactly what she wanted. A sickly child to become her new obsession and purpose. After some initial prescriptions made me more hyperactive and irritable, shit got heavier until I was sedated 24/7. This lasted from late elementary school until I finally moved out at the age of 19. I spent those early years as an apathetic zombie who would succumb to my mom's every whim, just like she wanted. Mom was an insecure, nervous woman. She was incapable of being alone and married young. Dad gave her financial security. She was barely able to leave the house due to her extreme anxiety, and she needed someone to take care of her. Living a boring, comfortable life was all she ever wanted. Not that that cunt was ever remotely comfortable with any aspect of her life. Well, except for her pile of money and sympathy from her hypocritical church-going acquaintances. She didn't have friends. Guess we kind of have that in common. Learning social skills after being tranquilized through my entire adolescence has been a slow learning curve. Dad was hardly any better. Emotionally and physically abusive. No wonder he chose Mom. Dominant and controlling. She was his punching bag, and I was the punching bag's pet. Sometimes I marvel at the fact that I'm living a normal, happy life after my abusive childhood. Sure, my job as a cashier isn't exactly impressive, but it gave me the freedom I needed to move out of my mom and dad's house. My apartment is shit, but at least I don't rely on them to pay the bills. There's no money left over after necessities, but for now that's okay. It's not like I do anything besides work anyway. I don't need to do much, as long as I have my husband, Dan. He is hands down the greatest thing to ever happen to me. The only person I've been truly close to. He knows everything about my story, about my history, and he completely accepts and cherishes me. After being surrounded by nothing but abuse for my entire life, I certainly don't take for granted the fact that I am so genuinely in love. I feel it every morning when I wake up next to him, and I'm the luckiest person in the world to get to call him mine for life. Dan is so smart too. He's only a few classes away from finishing his psychology degree, and he plans to get back to school and finish it sometime soon. We met at work, but he doesn't plan to stay at the grocery store forever. He wants to get his doctorate and help people so they never have to go through the type of abuse I've faced. He's going to change so many lives. I just know it. Even though he's not an official psychologist yet, he's amazing at what he does. He helped me work through so many repressed memories. Without him, I never would have fully understood that my mother drugging me and creating an imaginary illness was a form of abuse, and that it wasn't my fault. Now that that drug cocktail is lifted, it's like my brain is constantly making new connections. He helped me see that the suicide notes I wrote when I was 8 weren't that big of a deal. Lots of 9-year-olds cut themselves. And the stabbing incident in 5th grade was really blown out of proportion. It's not like I hit any of my mom's vital organs or anything. They definitely freaked out when I killed the neighborhood cat. But Dan says that's a sign of intelligence, and I should think about becoming a doctor or something. He really believes in me. Dan says my actions were a call for help, to escape my abusive parents. I couldn't remember most of the abuse before, but through Dan's therapy techniques, I'm recovering more and more memories all the time. Now, I'm in a great place. Best place I've ever been in my life. Because I'm finally going to be free from them. Tonight. Dan thinks it's the only way I'm ever going to be able to move on with my life. Mom, Dad, and I just aren't capable of happiness when we all exist in the same world. So really, I'm doing them a favor. I'm their sole heir. Dan and I will be multimillionaires. He helped me devise a plan to make things look like an accident. And since he's so brilliant, I completely trust him. We're going to quit our jobs and travel the world before settling down and starting a family. He'll be a psychologist and I'll get to do whatever I want. He says his whole life will be devoted to making me happy. We can't wait long. I'll be 20 soon, and I've delayed my chance at happiness long enough. I can't believe Dan and I have only known each other for 3 months. It seems like a lifetime. We eloped last night. Dan insists that we need to finish securing my freedom tonight. If we wait too long, our marriage will be poisoned by their existence. Time to go. Dan is getting anxious and says it needs to happen now. He's right, of course. He's always right. I trust him, after all. He loves me.